for me, the power of story I didn't really appreciate the power of story until I became a parent. Uh, I would read stories, and I've always been a reader and think about these stories and reflect on them, but I never really got into the deeper aspects of the stories until I had conversations with my children. This became very clear to me whenever I took my 11-year-old to Hunger Games, and so we believe that looking at watching movies and reading books allows our children to experience things that we don't necessarily want them to experience in life, but we want them to be exposed to it so we can have those conversations and kind of help them weed through and kind of think through those situations. So when we went to the Hunger Games, my 11-year-old was very excited about that. We got finished and we came back to the car and was driving back, and we just started having this great conversation. It's probably one of the best I've had with her. And she was bringing up different aspects of the movie, and we were really digging in themes, very important themes, and that took us back on a historical journey. So we started at Nazi Germany and started talking about all the totalitarian regimes, how the oppression of government, how government can make things better or worse. And so we started doing, comparison and contrast, and it was just a great conversation. And then we went to the aspect of the movie where they have the actual Hunger Game itself and compared that against the time of Empire Rome, where they had the Colosseum and the Christianity, persecution of the Christians, and all those sorts of things, and how that society really lusted after violence and lost sight of the importance of life. And so we had that conversation comparison between those, and then one of the big things we talked about at the end, which was really led to a very good conversation, was we then jumped to the use of technology to oppress people and to keep people in check, and the fact that people could not fight back against this technology. They were not empowered to do so. And so we talked about how similar that is to some of the things we see today with unmanned drones and how our government uses that. We don't necessarily use it on our own, but how is it that people in other countries feel when we use these unmanned drones to police and to carry out strikes on potentially innocent people? So we talked about something that resonated very deeply with current events as well. So I think that the power of story is that it allows you it gives you a platform and a foundation so that you can have these deeper conversations and talk about things that are important for our children to think about and process through.